The way I structure my pricing sheet, I go by market price in the area, which is like $37 per cubic yard or cubic foot or whatever, one of those two. I'm not great at math. That's why I Googled all this. And then I measured my trailer, did the math. Okay, $37 cubic feet for this size trailer. And then I just divided it into sections. And that's how I come up with, and some companies charge more than that. Some companies charge less. I went with the average, so I made sure I'm not the cheapest company in town, or I'm not the most expensive either. And a price accordingly to where I believe and feel the value of my company is at. And it's good to not suffer from imposter syndrome or some other syndrome that makes you have prices that aren't justifiable. But I think my prices fit the company pretty well. It gives room for growth, and I think it's fair. And yeah, anyways, so I have, as you can see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different pricing points. Some people tell me that's too much, that I should only have 3. Other people say I should be more like 1-800-JUNK and have like a million different pricing points for every extra millimeter of junk filled up inside the trailer. I think this is just right for me, because I used to have it to where it was just 4. Where it was just 1, 2, 3, 4 different pricing points. And there was a lot of situations where I noticed it was right here, or right here. And it was definitely not a half load, definitely not a full. And it was just, So I was like, okay, there needs to be another price point for that, because it's a big difference right there. And one thing that I like to do that also makes customers really happy is I always try to make sure it visually is, which it has to actually be in order for it to look like it is, more than what they paid for. So if you charge them for a quarter load, always make sure it's a little bit more than a quarter load, but still under the 1/3 load mark. And if I charge them for a half load, I make sure that's a little bit more than a half load before I hit them with a half load. So I always make sure, like, I try to put myself in the customer's shoes. Like, if a customer was looking at my trailer right now, would they be able to say, no, that's not a half load, that's less than a half load? I always make sure, like, it can never, because when I first started, sometimes it'd be like that. People would think, like, oh, he's trying to get one over on me, he's trying to charge me extra. But now, they look at the trailer and it's like, okay, I'm getting a pretty good deal. He also Tetris the crap out of everything into it. Yes, it helps. It makes you look more professional. It helps you show the customer what you're charging them extra for, or what you're not charging them. Hey, I'm giving you a discount. And also it shows the customer that your prices are real. You're not just making up prices.